Hello, this is John with Theology Ed. I hope you're all doing really well today. Okay, the Olympics have just started. The Summer Olympics 2024, the Paris Olympics, and we had the incident before uh, the opening ceremony with the rail, rail strikes or arson or whatever they're calling it, and then the opening ceremonies have been getting a lot of attention because of the symbolism involved in it. I've not really looked carefully at it, so I'm not going to do an analysis of that at this point. If you have a good link that to where I can actually take a look at that opening without having to watch hours and hours and hours of footage, I'd be grateful because I don't have time to watch all of that. But that said, the Olympics perhaps are in predictive programming. Some of the stuff we've covered in the past that we may have forgotten about. And one show that has a lot of predictive programming, important predictive programming, was this show Utopia, a British show that aired in 2013 and 2014, 2 seasons. Actually, a very well done show, interesting, a lot of predictive programming. If you look here, you've got this rabbit that's a main character, but if you look at the shadow, it looks like two heads back and forth, like Janus. Right? And so this is deliberate, as Janus is a major is a project in a project and a virus, as I understand it, in the show Utopia. Now, just to review some basic stuff about Utopia. In Utopia, we have a group of young people, who are interested in a graphic novel. And it's like a conspiracy theory that the graphic novel has more meaning than just being a graphic novel. And she wants to do her dissertation on it, and or a thesis or something, and she's talking to her professors, and she's like, no, it's not a comic, it's a graphic novel. It's called the Utopia Experiments. It is of a scientist who makes a deal with the devil for knowledge. And the devil appears in a number of guises, but always as an animal-human hybrid, most notably a rabbit. And as they're looking at that, you see this, glimpse at the graphic novel. And you have this needle, an injection. You have the beef cuts, sketched on a cow here, or bull, cow, bull, whatever. Some vaca, Latin, and then in Latin and Portuguese too. It's vaca is the word that is the from which we get vaccine. And it also is the word that means cow, and that's why eating beef metaphorically can refer to taking this needle. Well, anyways, it's the cow that kicks this person in the head and makes zombies of people, and you see the blood platelet here and so on. Now, what I'm going to show you here, you get little glimpses of different parts of the graphic novel, and the art is important. Here's that specific page from the graphic novel, the beef cut doing the damage to the person with the vaccine above it, illustrated there, making zombies of people. Okay, you can go through and maybe pause and take a look at those. But the scene that's most interesting for us right now, thinking about the Olympics, is Grant's room. Notice that he has the pages, 3 of them, on his wall, followed by this one with the Olympic symbol. The first one, of course, is the beef cut image kicking the person in the head and the vaccine. Now, in the show Utopia Experiment, or Utopia, what happens is there's this initial scare of Russian flu, which is actually hyped up. Turned out initially to be false before they were going to release the real Russian flu later. But the goal was to motivate people to take a vaccine that would inject them with a protein, that gene-altering protein or whatever, that would end up interacting with something that was also put in their food. And the protein in their food, combined with this protein in the vaccine that they're trying to give them, was going to sterilize, or turns out kill, a lot of people. It's supposed to, the initial goal of the Janus project was to sterilize 95% of the population of the world, okay, in a depopulation effort. So the idea was basically generate a scare of a Russian flu, get people vaccinated. The whole goal was to get people vaccinated with this vaccine that would inject them with a protein that would depopulate the world. Okay, and so what you have here, step one, the vaccine. Step two, here's your protein or whatever that will, cause harm to the people. Step three, the people become like zombies, the Walking Dead, right? No longer healthy people, but people who are, on their way out. And if we take this as a process, I mean, this would be first, this would be second, this would be third. So if this is 2020 to 23 here, we get to the Olympics, and then you get this fight after it. I'm not sure if that's what's, if that's what we're looking at here, right? But it is a very interesting thing that we get these lined up. Also, the Olympic rings, there are 5 of them. And in IPEC 2 and elsewhere, the 5 rings represent the 5 total eclipses from 2017 to 2024, and the 5th of these eclipses was the April 8th, 2024 eclipse that was being featured there, as we've been interpreting it on the channel for a long time. That period that is covered by the April 8th, 2024 eclipse is not the day of the eclipse. So many people were worried about the day of the eclipse, and they're like, oh, nothing happened, see? False alarm. But it's the period afterwards, okay? After that eclipse, before the next total eclipse. And that's what we're in, and the Olympics are in. So it could be pointing to the Olympics in that period of time, which would be this Paris Olympics. And then after that comes conflict. I'm not sure. I'm speculating. But what I do want to point out, though, is that this Olympic symbol here is in a chronology that is, I think this part is pretty clearly significant in predictive programming. So it'd be strange if all of this is important with predictive programming, and then all of a sudden the 4th poster, they just threw something up there that was, it's like, we're going to put these up here, and let's put another poster back here that has absolutely nothing to do with anything we've been talking about. Well, that doesn't seem right. So the Olympics, at least as a reference point in time, seems to be here, and perhaps towards the end of it or during it, we'll have some noteworthy events, whether at the Olympics or in the world, that lead to conflict. I'm not sure, but I want to throw it out there and just, so you have it on your radar. And remember that we have looked at this page before a few years ago, or this screenshot before a few years ago. And, there it is. Okay? Like, subscribe, share. Take care. Blessings, everybody.